The kind of racial stereotypes that I see in television and in movies, I'd say predominantly is just like absent fathers, absent like fathers of black kids. I'd say some of the stereotypes that I see the most are like black guys playing like criminals, or Mexican guys playing criminals, or there's obviously like the Asian like nail salon worker or waitress, or the Mexican waitress or maid, or things like that. How do I feel about Hollywood's diversity on lead protagonists of like people of color? I honestly think it's been improved a lot since like I was a kid. Like we see a lot more people of color like taking on lead roles. I do think there could be like more roles for people that aren't so like stereotypical or like just like basic, I guess. The biggest example I've seen of whitewashing would probably be Tropic Thunder. They had Robert Downey Jr. play like a black guy. He's like Iron Man now and super successful, and nobody really talks about it, but that was like pretty racist, honestly. A really powerful experience that I had on campus, ironically enough, came when I came down here for introduction when I was a freshman. I had a job interview lined up at the Qdoba, kind of by the Starbucks on Main Street, and I was headed there from looking at where some of my freshman classes were going to be. And as I'm coming down, passing Lillis, I hear that some tires screeching about maybe, I turn my head and I think it was about 100 yards back. It's a police SUV. I see an officer hop out of the car. He's kind of like looking around, searching frantically, and he's on his radio kinda. And he looks in my direction and he sees me, and I see him go for his radio, and he starts pointing at me and like on his radio communicating with whoever. He gets back in his car and starts driving towards me, and about that same time I heard a couple other sirens, and then from kind of towards Taylor's in the Duck Store, a couple other police SUVs come up that way. And they kind of surround me in almost like a half circle, I guess, kind of like a defense position with the SUVs. They open their doors, they all get out, like really, really defensive, like hands on their waists, all that nonsense, like asking me who I am, asking me where I'm going, asking me what I'm doing, and I'm just thinking like, this is crazy. Like I don't even know what to like say to this experience. I pulled out my Oregon ID. I had my name printed on it as the picture I'd just taken, so it looked a ton like me. Handed it to him. He looked at it, looked back at me, looked at like the ID again, and then basically just said like, take it, like get out of here. Like we're like, you're not the guy we're looking for. Like get out of here, piss off, pretty much. And I ended up like getting to my interview on time, thankfully. But it was really, really like it left a bad taste in my mouth, to say the least. The stuff that makes me most scared to see is the dash cam footage that they'll show like on the news or like online or whatever, on Twitter, whatever the case might be, and it's just like live action, like raw and cut, and it's just like really like terrifying, honestly, to think like that could be somebody you know, or like even yourself. Like it's just it's a lot of power for one person to hold, and like I don't know, it's kind of scary from this end. Yeah, I mean, overall, my experience with police hasn't been like terrible. Like I've had like good interactions with the police. The same, like I've had bad interactions with the police. It seems like a really, really difficult job. Like you'd have to be really brave to do something like that, and I respect it. It's just like it gets messy and it gets dangerous.